But then, hold on guys, we got a trailer! Hello, Horror Nights in family, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Your home for scary movie reviews and creepy theories I find on the internet. Well, it must be Saturday, which means we're gonna be talking about horror movies. More so, the horror movies that I am dying to see this year. So let's do it. Okay guys, listen, I know we're like 2 months into 2022 and all the elite YouTubers have done this video, but you know, here on Horror Nights In, we like to just go at our own pace. So jumping right into it, I am dying to see Orphan First Kill. So I was doing some digging online to see when this film was actually going to be released. And it's saying January 28th of this year, but obviously it's way past that date. We really haven't gotten much. So I have to deem that an unofficial release date. Regardless, this film is serving as a prequel to the 2009 film Orphan. Originally, this film was going to be called Esther for obvious reasons, but then it was changed. Of course, we have the very talented Isabel Fuhrman returning to play Esther. And Julia Stiles has also signed on. I like Stiles, and sometimes I forget that she was actually in pretty decent horror movies like The Omen and Out of the Dark. So the premise of this film is we meet Katie and Richard Morova, who have a missing daughter, and they believe Esther is their missing child. But they become intertwined in Esther's sick and twisted world. Richard is convinced that Esther is not their real child, but Katie is saying you're being paranoid and you're hallucinating. But when the couple finds out who Esther really is, they threaten her, but of course Esther doesn't like that and commits her first kill. So behind the lens, we have William Brent Bell, who I am a huge fan of. He directed some of my favorite horror movies like Stay Alive and The Boy. And make sure to stay until the end of this video because there are a few films that I didn't even know were coming out. Next up is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which actually premiered on Netflix yesterday. Also, I did a spoiler review on this film, so if you want to check it out, link is in the description. So I did chat about this film already on my Netflix recommendations on what to watch for January and February a couple weeks ago, so if you didn't catch it, but anyway, if you did watch it, this kind of may feel like deja vu for you. So just wait it out. I'll try to talk really fast. So the story that we're going to follow is a spiritual sequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And of course, it takes place 47 years later. Ruth is a 25-year-old moneymaker from San Francisco who drags her younger sister with her to Texas because she doesn't want her to be alone. The younger sister is an amateur photographer. And of course, once they arrive in Texas, not long until they are fighting for their lives against a 60-year-old Leatherface. Okay, so the next horror film that I am dying to see is The Black Phone. I actually saw a preview for this film a few months back and I was instantly creeped out. So we've got Ethan Hawke as the villain, and the film follows a serial killer who abducts children in a suburban Colorado town. When Finney Shaw, played by Mason Thames, is kidnapped by the Grabber, he hears the voices of past victims who are trying to help him escape. The film is also based on the short story by Joe Hill of the same name. So I'm definitely getting a lot of supernatural horror vibes from this film, and I'm also getting a lot of like It and It Chapter 2 vibes, which is interesting because Jason Ransone is also in this film. He's casted as a character named Max, and I'm sure that he looks familiar because he's from It Chapter 2. He plays Eddie. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this one. Also, if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to subscribe because I put new videos like this out every single Saturday talking about horror movies. All right, so coming up next is Nope. And when I was writing my notes, we had literally next to nothing for this film. And as I'm looking down at my notes, I'm saying I really want to see it, even though we don't have anything for it because of course it's Jordan Peele. And what we also know is Daniel Kaluuya is also returning. We know him a lot from Get Out because he did such an amazing job. Along with him is the iconic Keke Palmer, Barbie Ferrer, who also plays Kat in Euphoria, and of course Steve Young from The Walking Dead, who's also very iconic. So as I said, I'm reading my notes from when I made this script, and I'm saying that all we have right now is the poster. So I did some digging, and people on the internet are theorizing that it has to do with maybe like aliens, UFOs, things like that, because of like this UFO-shaped cloud that's on the poster. And what I assume is maybe a kite tail, but it could be something more. Also, this is really interesting. Some people are looking at the release date, which is 7/22, and some are saying that it may have to do with the Bible verse, Matthew chapter 7, verse 22, which serves as a warning against false prophets. So maybe that can be like some kind of cult. But then, hold on guys, we got a trailer! Last Sunday, we got the first look into the new film, Nope. And I'm still gonna go with my original thought that I think it's definitely aliens, but now I'm gonna kind of add to that a little bit and say it could be like a monster or like one huge monster or monsters and little monsters. We also got that really interesting line, "What's a bad miracle?" Also, I love the incorporation of horses because of how horses are like depicted in history. I love the title too. It reminds me of like those viral memes when people are like, "Nope, I'm gonna nope out of here," or when people are running away and they're like, "Nope, nope, nope, nope." So that was probably so annoying. I'm so sorry. Okay, so of course this next film that I'm going to talk about, I have to talk about because we're all horror fans here. And of course it's Halloween Ends. With this being this final installment of David Gordon Green's Worlds of Michael Myers, we are joined by, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis returning as Laurie Strode and the other survivors from the series. So we don't really have too much on this film yet, but we can assume that Halloween and Michael Myers ends. Well, this time. I'm sure Hollywood's gonna bring it back in like 5 to 10 years because they know that we're gonna watch it. We did get some pictures via social media when Jamie Lee Curtis posted a photo of herself in her outfit, and they are currently filming in Savannah, Georgia. I guess the only thing I'm really wondering is that when it's ready to be released, are they gonna team up with Peacock again or just gonna release it in theaters, kind of like Scream? The next film that I am dying to see this year is Hellraiser, a reboot that will be released on Hulu sometime this year. So we don't have a ton on this film yet, but what we do know is that Jamie Clayton was actually casted as Pinhead. I know her from the small role that she had in the horror thriller film The Neon Demon. So the film is set to be directed by David Bruckner, who directed The Night House and The Ritual. And Clive Barker also joined in as producer for the film, which is super exciting considering this year marks the 35th anniversary of the original Hellraiser, Haunting Our Dreams. Production also hinted that it's going to be a unique take on the original to new audiences, and it will reflect more so on the novella from Barker, The Hellbound Heart. Barker himself said that he is excited to see the film and how it's on a scale that he didn't even expect. Also, let me know in the comments down below if any of these films you want me to cover and do a review on. Okay, so along with all the films that I mentioned, I'm also excited to be seeing Dark Harvest. That is a supernatural horror film based on the novel of the same name. We are also getting a Salem's Lot film based, of course, on Stephen King's vampire novel of the same name. We will follow a writer returning to his childhood hometown just in time for it to be overrun with vampires. Also, another film that I am dying to see is Evil Rise, with a release date TBA. And this film, unlike its predecessors, who have always had like a very rural, isolated setting, this setting is actually going to be in an LA apartment complex building, where two sisters have to deal with the horrors after they discover the very evil book Necronomicon Ex Mortius. There is also the Rob Zombie adaptation of The Monsters, starring, of course, his wife Sherry Moon Zombie. Not a ton of details have been released about this, and considering our use of the gore and blood of a zombie film, I'm curious to see how he does this film. Let me know in the comments down below which film you're excited to see the most, and let me know if there's a film I didn't mention. Alright friends, that's gonna be it for me. And if you like this video, I have an entire playlist dedicated to horror movie reviews in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, and you can follow me on my social media if you want to, and I'll see you guys soon.